Anthony Edwards is a player who has shown nothing but encouraging signs as a basketball player in his NBA career. He's improved statistically every season. He's improved on tape every season. He's showing us more and more why he's a future franchise player. I believe he's clearly the face of the Minnesota Timberwolves at this point, someone that I think could be a superstar in the NBA for years to come, and he's just scratching the surface of how good he could be, which is really scary because he's already a great player right now. Anthony Edwards has every physical gift you could dream of in a shooting guard. He's the perfect height for the position. He's super physical and strong. He's quick and twitchy. He's pretty fast with and without the basketball in his hands. He's an explosive vertical athlete. He has good body control and flexibility for his size. It's truly insane to see someone this gifted as an athlete. He entered the NBA at 19 years old and immediately was the most physically gifted two-guard in the league. That's not normal. That's something we haven't seen since guys like LeBron or Dwight or Jalen Duren recently from teenagers entering the NBA. However, it's not just about the physical gifts that make Anthony Edwards so special. It's also about his skills as a basketball player. Anthony Edwards uses his physical tools to his advantage as a slasher. He can overpower his defenders with his brute strength, which on its own makes him hard to stop. He also has a quick first step and good speed, and good body control and flexibility like I mentioned earlier. He also has a more than effective handle. He basically has all the tools to be an elite slasher. And for the most part, he is a dangerous slasher. He's shooting 63.1% on 6.7 restricted area attempts per game. He's shooting 57.3% on 6.8 layup attempts per game. He's shooting 58% on 8 per attempt within 8 feet per game. The one area I want to see improvement on is foul drawing. His numbers have gone up in this area, however I would like to see continued progression. I think he has all the tools to be a 10 plus free throw attempt per game player. Now there are two reasons as to why I believe that Ant isn't a super high free throw attempt player right now. Part of it is the fact that he does have a bad whistle. He is a player that I feel like when he drives to the basket, there are plenty of plays per game on tape where he does get fouled and they just don't call it. I think part of that is he's just so big and strong that what it takes for the refs to decide what is a foul and not with him is a bit different than a normal sized basketball player. This is something we see with LeBron, something we saw with Shaquille O'Neal back in the day, and it's something that is evident on tape when it comes to Anthony Edwards, and I do agree with fans that bring this up. I've seen plenty of people in the comment sections of videos I've made about Anthony Edwards in the past that have brought it up, and I do agree that, yeah, he does kind of have a bad whistle, but I also think he could improve on his aggression and intent as a slasher when attacking the basket as well. I would say it's about 65% on the refs for not fairly officiating him, and I would say it's about 35% on him having to improve. I would lean to more of the bad whistle, but I do think there is a bit of a side of this where he does have to improve in areas as a slasher when getting to the rim and having the intent to draw a foul. Anthony Edwards is also an extremely skilled shot creator. He uses that same handle I mentioned earlier as a slasher, also to create separation as a shot creator. He has a good form, in fact it's one of my favorite shooting forms in the league. He has good touch on his shots. He has the balance and control to hit at tough angles. He's at 36.3% on 7.3 three-point attempts per game. He's at 38.9% on 2.8 mid-range attempts per game. He's at 37.1% on 11.5 total jump shot attempts per game. He can hit any shot on any spot on the floor, even if the numbers don't fully reflect it at times. I feel like his numbers reflect more of a shot selection problem than an ability problem, because on tape his scoring versatility is incredible. He's been growing as a three-point shooter every season, his efficiency has gotten better, and it's always been on really good volume. Being that physically gifted with this level of shot creating ability is rare. It's not normal. Being a player with the skill to outmaneuver defenses and the physicality to overpower defenses is something that every team covets, but only a few can actually get, and the Timberwolves have that with Anthony Edwards. Edwards is also a player who's growing as a passer. Honestly, I've never even considered him a selfish player, and I've been watching him play since high school, but he has struggled with the similar tunnel vision problems that are common in young scorers. He's still far from a perfect passer, I would say, but the numbers are going up assists per game wise. On top of that, on tape, he has shown improvement as far as utilizing and understanding his scoring gravity, which is the most important thing you can ask for in a player that I believe has the ceiling that Anthony Edwards has as a go-to scorer. I don't think he will ever be a big-time heliocentric playmaker, and that's okay, because he's good enough as a scorer right now and has the potential to be unstoppable as a scorer in the future, to the point where he's shown enough encouraging signs as a passer for that archetype. I think Ant can be a 5 to 6 assist per game player just off advantage creation caused by his scoring gravity, which is more than enough for a player of his caliber as a scorer. I've been extremely encouraged by the progress that Anthony Edwards has made in his young NBA career. His points per game, rebounds per game, assists per game, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, and true shooting percentage have all shown linear improvement that's very promising through his first 3 seasons. And on tape, he's shown improvement that lines up with his statistical improvement. Anthony Edwards is already a star in this league. He made the All-Star team as an alternate this season, and honestly, I thought he should have made it to begin with, which makes the fact that I don't think he's even scratching the surface of how good he will be even more frightening. I still feel like Edwards is far from his highest potential outcome, which is common because it is only year 3 of his NBA career, and he's only 21 years old. And I do think he could improve on his shot selection and foul drawing, but I don't think people understand just how insane it is to be as good as Anthony Edwards is right now, and also still have the potential to reach even higher levels of the game. He's proven he was worth the first overall pick. He's proven he's already a star in this league. He has the mindset and wiring to be that guy, and if he continues to improve at this rate, I believe that he could be one of the 5 to 10 best players in the world. I believe he has the potential to be the most unstoppable scoring guard in basketball and a top 5 to maybe top 3 scorer in the league. I believe he has the potential to be the best player on a serious contender one day. I believe Ant will be a superstar in this league, and he's well on his way to being it. I believe he can be an MVP in this league. I don't say these things lightly. These are super high expectations, but when I watch him play, it's hard not to believe that he can't be that when you realize that what you're watching now is a borderline All-NBA player at 21 years old who's just scratching the surface of his potential. He's already one of the most fun players in the league to watch. He's already a top 3 shooting guard in basketball, and I think he's just getting started. The sky's the limit for how good Anthony Edwards can be, which is really scary for the rest of the NBA, because he's already really good right now.